Threads of gold, ancient and dangerous, pull them together. A bond neither can deny. Jace Rayan receives an unexpected assignment. Locate and retrieve a girl he was certain was dead. Expecting nothing, he goes to Brighton, a port town on the island of Arya, and finds her. The girl who escaped the fall of Arya. The girl who bears the symbol of eternity. The girl whose blood the Titan of Time thirsts for. Lair Fairway, the Princess of Arya, and his target. The moment he sees her, he knows she is not safe. From the Zodiac meant to protect her, the Titan of Time, nor his father, the King of Chal. Hello everyone, and welcome once again to the Heir's Lair. I'm your host, Jonathan Taylor. Welcome to the first book review of the year 2024, at least on this channel. I can't say I'm the first guy to, have ever reviewed a book this year. And I thought I would ease into, reviewing books with a look at a book by an author I've already actually interviewed at some point in the past. Namely, I'll be talking about ReBirth by Azure Lane. I assume that's how her pen name is pronounced. I probably should have checked before, before recording. Anyway, this book is the first book in the Zodiac series, which in turn is an extensive reworking of her self-published debut, the 13th Zodiac. This book, unlike that previously mentioned debut, however, is actually released via Shadowspark Publishing. Because yes, after having been in the orbit of one of its co-founders for an extensive amount of time, I have finally decided to go and look at the rest of that publishing house's offer roster. I might go through all of them, but first I have my own TBR pile I have to work through. Once I'm done with that, I might continue my exploration. Anyway, that's beyond the scope of this video. It's time I talk a little bit about ReBirth. Starting with the generic stuff. The TLDW is that this book represents an excellent way of breaking through a reading dry spell. It is very dynamic, very fast-paced, and very heartfelt as a piece of fiction. It always keeps its audience guessing, and it always knows, and it always has something new, another twist, another turn that it takes, and all of that is written in such a way that it becomes very compelling to follow, and very much urges its readers to move ahead alongside the characters and alongside the action presented. If you've ever wondered what the Wheel of Time crossed with Final Fantasy would look like, then I can definitely say this is the book for you. So yeah, if any of that sounds interesting, go ahead, get this book. You will like it. And now that I'm done with the sorry, I've been under the weather this week. Anyway, moving ahead. If any of what I've just said sounds interesting to you, then go ahead and get this book. If you'd like a little more coaxing, well, then I'm gonna go a little bit more into the specifics, but not too specific because I have a spoiler policy I want to stick to. The narrative of this book mainly follows two lead characters, and incidentally, both of them are mentioned in the synopsis. The first of these is Jace Rayan, the crown prince of the Kingdom of Chal, an expansionist kingdom ruled by his father, King Soren, who is conquest-minded and with whom Jace has had some arguments, to put it politely. The second lead character is Leah. I'm just gonna go assume it's Leia Fairway, the former princess of Arya, a territory that has since been conquered by Chal, and who uh, has taken quite well to her new life as a commoner ever since the fall of her kingdom. When she is rediscovered, however, she has to get back on the road in order to make sure that she, retains her freedom. Various other characters show up throughout the story in order to either help or hinder these two when it comes to, their own goals. But I won't go too far into them because of the aforementioned spoiler policy. One thing I can say about this book, however, is the very interesting plotting, because I have to say the plot is all over the place, but in a good way. Like aside from the two lead characters, there are a whole bunch of other POV characters, all of whom support one of the major players of this world, and they add they add a lot of dimension to the world, and they add and lead to a lot of twists and turns within the within the narrative, as they all try to uh, accomplish the the things that they set out for themselves. And in doing so, and in writing the book this way, in allowing a lot of characters to participate within the way the narrative unfolds, uh, the author manages to create a very fast-paced, very dynamic story, uh, without sacrificing any of the character dynamics or character complexities, characterization, and intricacies that really define this cast, this roster of characters. Additionally, I have to commend this book for not for not protecting anyone, as in no one gets any kind of special exemptions when there is danger within this narrative. Pretty much any and all characters are any and all characters are on the line. People get hurt, people get killed in this story, and that really visibly really intrinsically escalates the stakes to a sizable and quite interesting degree. One that I think is one that I personally find to be found quite refreshing, quite satisfying, especially once I started noticing how the stakes of the narrative also change in the dynamic way as the narrative itself uh, also progresses. When it comes to the actual progression itself, I do have to admit that's one aspect of the story that doesn't doesn't particularly work. It works quite well from a character standpoint and from a character motivation standpoint, but the world building isn't really there to isn't really there to support it. There are when it comes to the setting itself, the broad strokes are quite well fleshed out. Though I would though I personally would have liked them to be a little bit more would have liked a little more dimension, and maybe a bit more connective tissue to find out how it more directly connects to the to various individual locations or procedures within the setting. However, even beyond that, uh, there are lots of locations and technologies or various other aspects of the setting that don't really receive the level of development or insight that that this that this book could really could really necessitate. There are lots of important plot points, primarily action scenes, where where the audience is left somewhat in the dark concerning the configuration of the location, and therefore the options available to the characters within the location based on that, as well as their abilities themselves, as in what can their weaponry do? Do they have any other technical means to uh, to influence the outcome of a given scene? And also their magic is also the magic system of this book is unfortunately quite underdeveloped. So when going through the action scenes, they are they are very much underwhelming. Thankfully, the characterization is there to pick up the slack. I already talked about how the way the plot is put together allows for insights into a whole bunch of characters, not just the leads. And I have to say that while not while not every character receives a lot of attention, a lot of time in the limelight, pretty much every character receives enough definition to where you understand what their intentions are, what their strengths are, what their flaws are, what it is that makes them intriguing, what it is that makes them stand out. It is in that sense at least a very refreshing and very rewarding book, because if you invest, because it does encourage you to invest within the within the setting or within the characters, and to follow through with what it is that what it is that they're doing, and how it is that they seek to accomplish their goals. So whenever anything happens, you do filter that through their lens, and ultimately ultimately feel for for everything that happens to them. So I have to say, great job. So yeah, great job there, Miss Rain, Mrs. Anyway, overall, while not every while not every element of the story falls neatly in place, it the narrative is still written in a compelling and exciting way that manages to hook the reader with a dynamic pace, and hold their attention by investing in the characters and their respective narratives. My final rating for ReBirth is a 3 out of 5. And that was my review. Thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed it, well then please like the video and maybe even share it wherever you think other people will also like the video. If there is anything you'd like to add, either to the book or to my review of it, that's what the comment section is for. And if you want to see when my next video gets released, well then please subscribe. And ideally also ring the bell or do whatever else YouTube will ask of you in order to keep you notified. My books, the first of my own Heir to the Empire series, The Next Generation and The Path Not Taken, are available at various book retailers under their respective links in the description down below. Right past my social media links, which I also suggest you check out, should you choose to. Additionally, you have the option of supporting me on Patreon, where I'm currently in the middle of reshuffling my tiers and my reward options. So if you would like to check out what that's like, you have the link in the description there, and and I can pretty much say that I might also find information about this channel in my second one, because yes, I also have a second channel where I talk about, I don't know, whatever else comes to mind. Until next time, I'm Jonathan Taylor, and this has been the Heir's Lair.